Apple TV, not to be confused with Apple TV's streaming box or an app that's on your smartphone. This is Apple TV Plus, their Apple's streaming service. Is it worth it? That's what I'm here to tell you. Hello, I am Wanderer001, and this is my review of Apple TV Plus on the Roku. So everything that I'm going to show you is caveated with that it is on a Roku device. So load times that you're going to see, screen transitions, that's all going to be Roku centric. However, the Apple TV Plus app itself is available on several different streaming devices, just about anything these days. However, the Apple TV Plus app does work best on the Apple TV streaming box. Confused yet? I know I was. Let's start things off with loading the app so you can see how the dedicated load time is. Like I said, I'm not going to change any load times. You're going to see exactly how long it takes on the 2021 best model of the Roku streaming set-top box. So there you saw that. When we first launch Apple TV Plus, which I will probably just call Apple TV to make it easier, we land on the Watch Now page. What that is anything that you're going to want to watch right now. If you see down here, if I select down on the Roku remote on the directional D-pad, this is our up next section. So here you can see I have Tom Hanks' Greyhound, I have Wolfwalkers, I have Ted Lasso, and I have another Tom Hanks movie. All are Apple TV Plus original shows. And that's what you're going to notice once we start going through this a little more, is that Apple TV Plus really doesn't have a back catalog to work off of. It's all really new Apple TV shows. When this first launched, the big complaint a lot of people had was that there was not enough content on here at that time. I'm happy to say that there is a lot more content on here. However, it's still limited. So your up next will dynamically change as you choose something to watch. It will shift to the beginning, so you'll always be able to go right back to whatever you were watching. As you can see, there's a status bar that lets me know I have 58 minutes of this left to watch. I have the full 144 minutes, and Ted Lasso, which, if anybody's told you about Apple TV Plus, this is probably the TV show that they told you need to watch. This is one of the shows that I wanted to check out on Apple TV Plus, and I will admit the hype is kind of worth it. Coming down on our Watch Now page, here is what to watch. So it's just going to kind of give you an idea of things to watch. Now, this is where I start to have some issues with Apple TV Plus. Here you'll notice 1883, The Eternals, and Servant. In the lower right-hand corner of the Servant window, you'll see Apple TV Plus logo. However, Eternals doesn't have that. Neither does 1883. If we select one of these options, you'll notice it's really nice in the way that it transitions to and from specific things. You'll see that as we're going along. But here you could see that this is actually through Paramount Plus, which you can try for free. And then after that is $10 a month. I do kind of like how Apple brings a lot of information about this. So you could try Paramount Plus right from here, meaning that Paramount Plus subscription will be part of your Apple account and build all in one. So that's kind of nice that it does that. But here you see it says the season. It lets you know it's a drama, when it came out, the runtime, as well as a age rating, which is kind of nice. So 15 plus. And if you come down, you can see it's got season 1 with information. It shifts. It lets you know what you're watching. Down here, you have trailers, which is nice, bonus content, and related. So if you find something that's related to what you're looking at, it will show you. Likewise, if we come over to cast and crew, if we select one of the crew, well, here you go. Anything that he was in that Apple TV Plus has access to, it will show you that here. And we're going to come back and back one more time. And we'll do the same thing with The Eternals, just so you get an idea. So this is a movie as opposed to a TV series. This one you can buy outright for $20. And again, all of the information, you can add it to your up next, which will shove it up to the top where you saw before. However, it's not actually a list. It's always a continue watching area rather than a dedicated watch list that you can go back to. So they don't really separate that, which I don't really like. And then here you could buy it from Apple TV. Coming over to our Apple TV original here, give you an idea. And you've seen the shifting back and forth, which is really nice. You can play next episode, add to up next, which is the only thing that you can do. season, trailers, bonus content, related, and then cast and crew, just like you saw. When I was on Eternals, you saw that you can buy with Apple. That's one of the things about Apple TV Plus is if you don't live in the Apple ecosystem, it may be a rude awakening that you're going to need an Apple account of some sort in order to actually utilize this service. So if you don't like having to do that, this might not be the service for you. But we continue on. Now on Apple TV Plus, well, here you go. It's going to show you these are things that are on Apple TV Plus. Now you're going to notice that there's a lot of things that kind of pop up in several locations, and that's partially due to the lack of a large catalog to work off of. Apple TV Plus Originals, which is what Apple TV Plus is for, are trickling out, but they just don't have the large catalog that a lot of these other services have. Coming down, here we go. Servant, new season premieres January 21st, which is a few days away from when I'm actually filming this. So it's letting you know, hey, you can totally get caught up on this. And one of the things I don't like about the highlighting is it only kind of raises the image up a little bit. So up here, you have this in the background. Might be a little difficult to see. Likewise here, only makes it slightly bigger, and then you get some text underneath it. Makes it a little difficult to know what you're actually highlighting unless you're kind of used to that Apple ecosystem. So I kind of wish they had a better highlighting mechanism for that. Down here, we have channels. So these are all the channels that you can get included with your Apple TV, not Apple TV Plus subscription. So these will all be able to be billed right to your Apple account. This is also one way that I like to find all of our Apple TV Plus content. So hypothetically, if I pop over to Paramount, I'm going to select that. And here you go. Try Paramount free. It's going to show you, hey, this is what you can get with Paramount. And then it feeds all this into Apple TV. Coming over to Apple TV Plus, this will allow us to see all of our Apple TV content. There are several ways that you can get to this page. So we're not going to go through this right now. We're going to select back and come down. And here we have new shows and movies. Again, this is going to be everything, not just Apple TV Plus, which is the annoying part because some of these you have to pay for with another subscription or pay outright for single episodes. Same thing with our popular shows. And then Ted Lasso, because I watch Ted Lasso, shows up here. Watch all of our episodes. Apple TV Music. And then here's another thing for Macbeth on Apple TV. What we're watching, what we think. And another thing I don't particularly care for is the constant film strip. Instead of bringing me into a grid for all of the shows that I could be looking at. If you like Ted Lasso, you would like these things. And I will admit, right here, Mythic Quest was one of the things that I wanted to check out on Apple TV Plus. But like a lot of these other things, a little hard to tell, but they're not actually Apple TV Plus series. Free series premieres coming soon to Apple TV Plus. New movies, again, not all on Apple TV Plus. These are through some subsidiaries. Limited time offers, browse collections, browse genres, try something free, learn about how to Apple TV Plus, discover Apple TV Plus, try channels. I mean, it gives you a lot of information. And then recently watched it. Comes down here, bunch of Ted Lassos. Does not show me actual movies that I've been watching, which is interesting. So that's just for TV shows. But now we are all the way at the bottom of that first screen. And what I do like about the Roku version, if you select back on your Roku remote, one shot brings you all the way back up to the top, which is great. Coming over to the right, we have Apple TV Plus. Like I said, there's a lot of ways to get to this page. So I wasn't going to go through it then. Here you have a nice banner. This is what we think you could be watching. Nice big ad. And then latest originals. Scroll, scroll, scroll. Watch entire series. So this is things that you don't have to worry about things coming out because Apple TV Plus will either drop an entire season in one go or they might feed it out. One of which was like Fraggle Rock, which I came across before. Episodes of Fraggle Rock are going to come out weekly. So can't watch it all in one go. Best of 21. These are going to be all Apple TV Plus originals. Coming down, Apple original films. So yes, there are movies and TV shows. A lot of this is highly acclaimed stuff. And that's kind of the feeling I get from Apple TV Plus is it's, I want to say more bougie, but it's definitely a specific user base and actor, director that ends up here. You have a lot of Tom Hanks and a lot of Steven Spielberg on Apple TV Plus. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. Just know before you get into this if this is something that you'd actually be interested in. The films and shows that I've watched so far have been great. Like, they definitely are big budget things. So it's not like Apple would cut corners, let's be honest. So we'll keep scrolling down, all featured films. And again, even though there's a lot of featured films that I could be going through, this is all film strip style. Not a fan of that, but if I come over to, hypothetically, here we go. Brings up a nice picture. And I'll admit that transition there is nice. I just wish it was in a different style. So, all drama series, all comedy series, it's breaking it down to try and make it easier for you to find content, even though you're going to see a lot of content that is repetitive. And we've reached the bottom, so I'm going to select back, all the way back up to the top. To the right, you have the store. And that's the thing. Apple TV Plus is an add-on to the Apple TV experience or the Apple Store experience. So here, you can buy a lot of different shows or movies and have them added to your Apple account. So this is movies coming across. You have available to rent, new, noteworthy. You get the idea. Coming over, library. If you've got purchased content from Apple, it will show up here. I do not. I am not an Apple user normally, so not my bag. Coming across, we have search. Over on the right, if we scroll over, we have recent search. So you can see I did Morgan Freeman, Fraggle Rock, another Fraggle Rock. You also have browse by category. So again, this is another place. Select Apple TV Plus, free for everyone, family and kids. It's going to break it down to make searching easier. So if I come over to comedy, it's going to bring up a bunch of comedies. Keep in mind, again, you'll notice that Ghostbusters, Free Guy, Clifford, those aren't Apple TV Plus shows. Right here, Ted Lasso, Mythic Quest, those are on the rocks also, again, because it has that Apple TV logo in the lower right. But coming back, if we wanted to do a search, we just come over to our search box, and I'll search for exactly what I was searching for originally, which was Fraggle Rock. And here we go. So we can come over. It's got auto completes up here, so you don't have to type it all out. And then you have Fraggle Rock, Back to the Rock, which is an Apple TV Plus original, and then the original Fraggle Rock from back in the 80s. So selecting this, here we go. Big old picture, information, episode guides, related, and cast and crew at the bottom. Likewise, we'll come over, boom, big picture, information, add to up next because it hasn't aired yet. That's the big thing. So add to up next, coming on Friday, as you can see there. And we're going to select back because that's really the search mechanism. It's not terrible. I like it over some other streaming services, but I wish it kind of did a little better. Again, notice this is still here. You actually have to come down to clear in order for that to actually clear everything out. I like that they have the search Apple TV Plus, but it just brings us back to this page here instead of, again, what I would prefer, a grid-like format. We're going to come all the way back up to the top and move over to the right, which is our settings. This is one thing that I actually will give to the Apple TV Plus app is the amount of control and changes that you can make within the application itself, not just with your Apple account. So here we go. At the top is your account information, which I'm hiding because I don't want to show that. But coming down, we have About. We can select that, and it will give you information about the app that's on your Roku. You can select language. You can select restrictions. So if you wanted to have parental controls, yes, you can turn on restrictions. You can add a passcode. Purchase and rentals, disallowed without a passcode. Movies, you can set PG, G, whatever. Same thing with TV shows. So it's a nice parental control right there. Accessibility, as you might imagine, it has accessibility access. So subtitles and closed captioning. How would you like this to look? There's lots of choices. Audio description, bold text, increased contrast, motion. There are lots of options if you need accessibility options. Limit purchases and rentals to SD. So if you don't want to see HD, 4K, 2K, you can turn that on, save a little money. Limit playback to SD. Again, need to save on your bandwidth. Hey, limit to SD. You don't have to worry about that. reset your Apple TV, which, as you might imagine, does exactly what it sounds like. Restores the app to its original state in case you were mucking around with things. Help. It does have actual help information right there. This is the one that I like the most, which is our privacy area. And I know in later days, Apple is trying to come across as a more privacy conscious company. So here you go. Clear your search history for your Apple TV Plus. Use play history. You can turn that on or off. When making recommendations, you can clear your play history. You can show sports scores, not really interested in that, but they'll pop up if you're following a team. Location services to make things better. I have that off. Share Apple TV analytics, also off to help with performance. Don't like that. Analytical data will show performance data if there's anything there. About Apple TV, pretty much about information. See how your data is managed, and then legal. Admittedly, there are a lot more options in the settings area than you would get for a lot of other apps. Some other things to consider. How many simultaneous streams can you have? You can have up to 6 simultaneous streams, including yours, so that's actually 5 other ones. However, each person will need to have their own Apple account, and it's normally supposed to be for Apple family members, but it doesn't seem at this time that Apple is kind of poo-pooing that. So you'll be able to share with 5 other people. Another thing that you might be thinking of is Apple TV content free. Well, if it's an Apple TV Plus series or something that you bought, yes, it will be ad-free. There may be a little bumper roll in front of one of these episodes, but it will be for another Apple TV Plus show, and it does have a skip button, which is kind of nice. One of the biggest dings that I have against Apple TV Plus is the commingling of content and making it a little trickier to figure out what's free and what's not. Meaning, do I have to have a subsequent subscription to another service, or am I buying this outright? If they did a little better letting you know what was what, I think I would like it a little more. And that's not saying it's bad, it's just a little confusing at times, especially if you're not from the Apple ecosystem. Last thing that you need to consider is pricing. And we're going to round up. Apple TV Plus is $5 a month, so that's not as bad as some other streaming services. If you have other Apple products or other services that give you Apple TV Plus free, chances are you might have this and not realize it. Because I remember when it first came out, at the drop of a hat, you could get a year's subscription for free and not notice it. Generally, you'll be able to find a 1 to 3 month free trial. For me personally, based on the content that they have and what's available right now, this would not be something I constantly keep activated as one of my primary streaming services. However, as I said, Ted Lasso is worth the hype that's been going on, and I know that there's a season 3 coming out at time of filming, so I would be willing to add this to my streaming rotation when a show or movie came out that I would like to see, definitely. Because again, if you look at other services, $5 a month to watch a movie, not terrible. Likewise, to binge watch a TV series that is only available on Apple TV Plus. Just remember, as a cord cutter, you don't need to have all the things on all the time. You can pick and choose, and Apple TV Plus might be one that you might enjoy, especially if you're already in the Apple ecosystem. It pulls all of that information into one singular place. It reminds me very much of the TiVo Hub from the TiVo Mini that I tested, review in the corner there, where it's aggregating all of your data and recommendations into one location that's separate than the individual streaming apps, which you can have here, and which I've done a review of a lot of these, again, over in the corner, giving you a single place for that. So if you like that style already, I would recommend checking out Apple TV Plus. If you're on the fence, I would definitely suggest waiting for a free trial of some sort. With that being said, I have been Wanderer001. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them in the area below. And as always, thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, consider giving it a like, as that will help other people find the video as well. If you like what I'm doing here, you can always help fuel the next review by buying me a coffee, link in the description below. Last but not least, if you want to be notified when I upload a new video, you know what to do.